What we're going to do today, we're going to focus on three things for you here. So it's all about this understanding our audiences and that brand behavioural shift. So the first thing is about consumer behaviour. We thought we'd start here because naturally, it's the most important thing. They're the lifeblood, the things which make your business tick. And we've got four areas that we're looking at the moment around what the consumer needs. And this isn't necessarily as you'd think, I want this specific product. It's about actually really what are you feeling. It's a very emotive time. Things are changing. We massively believe that actually by understanding and bridging between someone's absolute behaviour and what they need, and that could be their emotional need or their need for things such as supporting a better environment, it will help you be better as brands and businesses. We'll look a little bit in terms of what consumers are spending. Again, we're in a state of flux at the moment. There's lots of different elements coming up. So what are people actually doing and how can we start to track that? We want to look at their media consumption. Again, a lot of the traditional media outlets and approaches have altered and changed. And naturally, the way that we're consuming our media at this current time has altered as well. And then finally, about brand connection. So what does that mean? What is it that how people are affected by the service, the experience, the communications, and actually how brands are reacting as well. So really, does it matter? So they're the four areas that we're going to start off with this first section. But I thought I'd start off with this one here. It's the year to date has been a little bit all over the place, to say the least. And I love this cartoon. Just for avoidance of doubt, it's actually not true data. Or at least I don't think it is, but it's pretty close. So I like it. I'm not sure if anyone else is the same. We saw loo paper shooting up and coming back down again. Naturally, internet's gone. Shaving has dropped off, although I did have a shave this morning in case I thought it was going to be a video conference. So I'm looking suitably de-stubbled. And alcohol has massively gone through the roof. I think mine was probably going up before March. It's wine o'clock on a Monday at 11 o'clock is a possibility. So that's how we're tending to see things. The way sort of mentioned earlier on about consumer needs and emotions, they're on this massive roller coaster ride. It's really hard as sort of commentators, as analysts, as brands to understand this, because it's complex. And I presented this chart to one of my colleagues the other day, and he went, "Oh, there's quite a lot on it." I said, "Yeah, but it's consumers, it's your feelings, it's your emotions. It's not easy. There's lots of bits." So we think about different areas, different sort of groupings. It could be about people's needs to do with their physical health, their mental health, their actual health, or even mortality. We're seeing mortality being mentioned quite a lot. There's stuff about wanting to feeling rewarded or enriched or accomplished or to escape. Again, really important for us to understand, because it makes a massive difference in the way that we deal with things. There's a definite shift change for some people to start to reward themselves with a better bottle of wine, a better cut of meat. So something slightly different. The stuff around assurance and confidence, so it could be safety or structure or ease and simplicity, that plays itself very much into the customer experience. The stuff about you feeling empathetic, you're wanting to trust the brands, to have a voice and to be heard and to be reassured. And then on the right-hand side, we see there's environmental, personable, and external factors, whether or not that is about you feeling connected, and that sense of connection is more important now than ever, and that could be with your family, it could be with your friends, it could be with your colleagues. And actually that sense of connection sometimes is more or less, and we've probably all felt overwhelmed at times with the amount of Zoom calls and everything else which is going on. And other times you want more of it. And then finally in the top corner, there are things which still matter to people. Money is important, and it does split. For some people, they're going to have more, and some people naturally less. Time, I feel guilty that I'm not using my time in the best way. Sustainability is still in there. How do you deal with that in a case where actually it's harder to consume? And then finally, societal issues. So we look at all of these things and we're trying to get a handle to it. We've not got it yet, but we're moving towards understanding it better. What we have started to understand, though, is that they're factors, but your emotions are the things which really matter, and they are massively juxtaposed on the back of it. And we've looked at a very simple theory using a COVID tracker that we're building up from early March until last week. And we can see that, back in early March time, fear was the overarching thing. That was the thing which people were talking about. Disgust and joy was sort of in there. Joy feels odd, but having the chance to spend time with your family and in the different paradigm is there. But now we're shifting, and we're seeing that sadness is coming up. We're seeing that joy is coming stronger, but fear is reducing, and disgust is reducing. So again, it's a really important thing to know, because we'll talk later about the empathy on brands, and one of our colleagues is doing something about emotional creative later this week, and understanding how people are reacting will temper the way that your communication should go.